Good evening, Mallory.
Good morning, Sam.
Welcome back to Nobody Leaves, the podcast where two friends make each other watch all kinds of stupid things. This week, I'm making Mallory go to the movies. We're talking about Chainsaw Man Season 1 and also Chainsaw Man the movie Reze.
Yes, this was a very packed week. I watched a lot of stuff. I watched a lot of Chainsaw Man. I've gone from 0 to 50, much like the titular Chainsaw Man, who's always pulling his chainsaw and making it go so fast. And that day we were all Chainsaw Man. Sam, I wanted to talk to you about the movie theater because I have not been to the movies since Barbie, I think, was the last time. So it's been a while. Sam, what's the deal with these ticket prices?
You hit me with the Jerry Seinfeld right off the bat.
Mallory,
it's
just so expensive. It's a deluxe experience.
Well, listen, you're podcasting with a psychopath because I subscribe to a monthly ticketing service, so I pay $0 for all of my movie tickets, except I don't pay $0. I pay a monthly fee that is more than any streaming service because I'm dumb. But I also go to the movies like 6 times a month.
Do you get discounts on popcorn? Because that's the other thing.
No.
Well,
but the movie does cost $1 million if you dare to get popcorn, and heaven forbid you get a drink. The soda devil will murder you.
How is the snack smuggling situation? Is that just incredibly easy? I remember when we were kids, like you had to be a little bit discreet. You couldn't just be walking in with like big square shapes like poking out of your hoodie or whatever.
Well, movie theaters have gotten a lot more sophisticated since we were children, in the sense that like they have reclining seats, and that means they can charge an extra $5 per ticket, which is dumb.
Yeah.
They also have like real restaurant food now, a lot of them, but then that goes through the same like upcharge process as popcorn and soda and whatnot. So I can get a cheeseburger for like $25. Or I can eat at home. I often eat at home. But there is it's funny, it's always with the bigger movies. Like if I go to watch like a random Blumhouse horror movie or like a Marvel movie or something, I can usually like the movie's starting, it's gotten dark, like the wait staff have all like made their rounds, and I'll just start hearing the like I start hearing the Coke cans open, and I'm like, all right,
That's
game
awesome.
respect game. I'm here for it.
That's it reminds me because I used to work in a at the time. Okay, so when we were kids, it was like a big deal that you could get restaurant food. It was like a restaurant movie theater, right?
Mm-hmm.
I went there for like my probably like 12th or 13th birthday, I'm pretty sure. And then I later worked there for a little bit and served the food, and the food was pretty infamous. And then like
infamous in a good way? Or in an infamous way?
Famous in an in way.
Right. Yeah.
It was not the best.
In an infamy way.
The most famous story. I'm like pretty vulture-ish when it comes to food. I think this is a well-known fact about me. Like if I'm eating dinner with someone and they're kind of like slowing their pace and there's still food on their plate, I do hover. I'm pretty monstrous and despicable in that way.
The girl tax has always been within you.
Absolutely, fully. So I'm at this place, and I think it was like my first or second day there, so I'm still kind of like nervous, knowing the ropes, being different, and there was like this kid's birthday party that got like canceled, so they had this whole pizza that they made that they just put out like on the little tray thing, and they were like, whoever wants can like get a slice of pizza. And immediately my brain is just pizza, 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 right? So I like really wanted to get this pizza, and but I was waiting. It's like someone else has to do it first. Like all these like longtime employees need to be the ones to make the first move.
I know the feeling.
No one's taking it. Yeah, it's awful, right? And
someone's got to go pick up that first like powdered donut, and then I can just like go to the craft service table and be like, yum, 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 yum.
You can fully fiend out. You can just like take 10.
So whatever like work potluck I'm at, it's like, all right, okay, go. Like time to eat.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I'm like waiting and biding my time. Eventually it's clear that nobody is gonna take it. And then like the cool goth girl like sees me staring and is like, you can have a slice if you want. I was like, okay. And I took a bite. Boy, howdy, that was some cardboard with cheese on it. It was
talking like
really
Chuck E.
bad.
Cheese style, like just not good.
Oh, just not good at all. And I immediately understood why no one was touching the pizza. And yeah, that place. And we went later to watch. We watched Kizumonogatari there.
We did. I was wondering if it was that same theater.
Yes. And I think I made the mistake again. I saw buffalo wings on the menu. I got so excited, and it was just like, chicken with hot sauce.
When even the people working there won't eat the food, that's usually a good sign that you shouldn't eat the food.
Yeah.
My problem is it's gotten a lot better. Like I don't go to that theater, but like the local theaters that have their own kitchen, that whole deal, food's pretty good. But it's also
that was my thing.
$25 for a cheeseburger.
It's interesting that it's gotten to where that's like the standard, and you would have good food at an average restaurant, because then the whole gimmick of that place is completely a wash. Like there's nothing anymore to it. It's just crazy.
That's why I eat all my dinners at the movie theater. It's just I just go. It's like time for dinner. Let me go watch a movie.
That should be a thing, like movie theater cuisine. Like
it's
just
sometimes
ranking,
a thing.
like you got to do the What was that guy who would review like fast? I mean, I know there's a bunch of fast food reviews.
Oh, review of the week or whatever. What is his name?
Oh no, there was
it's not
that
review
guy.
of the week, but it's something like that. Report of the week.
Yeah,
Is that it?
that guy was famous. There was a guy before him who was like he was like, I'm at Taco Bell doing it well,
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, man, I wish I could remember his. If you know that guy's name, please comment. Use an icon. Sam, what have you been watching this week?
Yeah, I'm getting the impression you've got not a lot going on that's not Chainsaw Man related.
Yeah, it's a little. We're scraping the bottom of the barrel. I'm just trying to get by, Sam.
I understand. Well, it's not been very long since we last recorded, and I've not done a whole lot because, the break is over. I'm back in marathon training because I'm an idiot.
Wow.
Because I just hate myself, I guess.
It's almost like the break never happened.
I'm running from something. I'm running from my own personal devils, I guess. But I watched a couple interesting YouTube videos that I'm going to throw out there.
Yeah.
Just because I have not been to the theater yet this week. I'm hoping to go see Smashing Machine probably tomorrow, but I haven't made it there yet.
Ooh.
Which is the new The Rock movie where The Rock looks not like The Rock, but also like a good actor, and it looks pretty good. It's very strange.
I heard about this on My Brother and Me. That was like they were just having a huge conversation about Smashing Machine and how The Rock is like finally decided. He's just talking about like
that feeling where it's like an actor's been slumming it for like years, and they're like, no, I'm making a good one. Just to show y'all I still can. Like Adam Sandler did that with Uncut Gems, and then one of the two directors of that movie is the one who made this movie.
Interesting.
The Safdie brothers.
Yeah, it's like he was just talking about in the interview how he's like, sometimes in Hollywood it seems like you get put in a box. It's like
Dwayne, you
like
built
the
box.
Rock is in a box. He's the most box person of all time. I'd be
he's
very
famously
interested
like,
to hear
I won't get beat up in a movie or like whatever. Like I have to always win. I have to always be the coolest or whatever. Like there was always these like leaked contract negotiations when he was in the Fast and Furious movies between him and Vin Diesel, where it's like the two characters might fight in this movie, but neither can lose because of the egos of their actors. And it's like, that doesn't make for a great story or movie or art or what have you. But apparently that's all been like put to the side for this movie. And so I'm excited to see it. But
It reminds me of
haven't seen it yet. Sorry, go ahead.
It reminds it, but didn't he in Moana? He got beaten up by the crab.
Yeah, but that's animated.
So
doesn't count.
Oh, okay.
Don't you know the rules of Hollywood?
I didn't. I'm trying to understand the rules of like male egos. Like, oh, if it's a cartoon,
stupid?
It doesn't count.
That's for babies. That was the Paycheck movie.
Yeah, that was the Paycheck one.
Yeah, that and Jungle Cruise and like 5 others I could name.
Jumanji. But yeah,
Jumanji or Rampage or Black Adam. Just a whole lot of winners this last decade. But I haven't gone to see Smashing Machine yet, so I've been watching YouTube at home.
Yes.
Saw a pair of videos from Jeff Thu, who is known as Mother's Basement, who is like a very, very popular anime YouTuber. I haven't watched a lot of his content in the last like 5, 6, 7 years maybe. He's been around forever, so it's one of those things where you get to know someone's style and you just kind of like get bored with it or what have you. But like, makes pretty good videos. Always seems like a decent guy or what have you. And then this video slid across my desk through the YouTube algorithm. The cancer eating anime YouTube.
Interesting.
Now,
I
Mallory,
think I actually got that recommended as well.
Okay.
And I will say, I was like, the cancer eating anime YouTube by a YouTuber named Mother's Basement. And I did think, I don't know if this one's for me, but looks can be deceiving.
I would say they are. So Mother's Basement, like him or not, I would say pretty professional guy. Like, doesn't seem to be a shit stirrer, doesn't seem to be that clickbaity or what have you. And I was like, let me check this out. And this is going to be relevant to you as someone who's gotten into the YouTube game recently.
Whoa. Am I the cancer that's eating anime YouTube?
It's you, Mallory. No, it's the opposite. It's basically like this is preventing people like you from succeeding, or people like me.
Interesting.
It does fall into the trope of YouTubers love to talk about YouTube and love to talk about how YouTube is screwing over XYZ. But this one I think is interesting. It's basically a video about how AI slop is proliferating across YouTube, which is well known as a problem, and is a bummer. But particularly how like the volume of it in the anime YouTube community or what have you is just like outpacing almost anything else for whatever reason.
Interesting.
So let me ask you a question. You ever been on YouTube Studio and like checked out the research tab on the analytics page and all that?
I'll be a great fish out of water for you that will allow you to explain things to our equally not understanding audience here.
Hey, well, no
even
problem.
though I probably clicked on it, but I'll forget like the I'm just kind of clicking around and trying to find interesting numbers.
Right. So the research tab, it basically shows you like YouTube through like its own algorithm and what have you goes like, I don't know, people are watching this, and what it has shown me for the last like 3 years are these really strange videos that are like anime recap videos, but not in like a storytime YouTube way or like a fun creative like I wrote a script way. They're just like the Wikipedia summary, maybe edited slightly, thrown into like an AI voice, and then like some of the worst like clip selection you've ever seen. And then the title won't have the anime name in it. It'll be like, this guy was kicked out of anime high school because woke, but then he proved them all wrong. It'll be something like that, right? It'll use whatever buzzwords exist in the moment, like, this anime guy's transported to video game world, but is he too skibbity for this level? Like, it'll be just like, just the most brain rot, the most like gobbledygook, low effort crap that you've like ever seen. And then like the thumbnails like either very suggestive or like saturation's cranked to 1,000. And these are everywhere. And there are channels that do this that have like 10, 15 million subscribers, and they just pump them out, and they pump out like thousands. And unfortunately, it's really working in the YouTube algorithm of it all, because it prioritizes like watch time and stuff like that. That is like the current meta.
Right.
And a lot of these, infiltrate shorts as well. And some of it's basic, like anime piracy, like let me just re-upload anime like 15 seconds at a time. And then some of it is this crap. And this, I don't know, this video was a pretty nuanced discussion about like this, and about how it's a bummer and how it happens and the mechanics behind it. And yeah, I don't know, made me sad, but it was also like, oh, I'm glad some other people are noticing this and like not a fan of it, because these videos are like, I don't know, sometimes last like 5 years or so, sometimes I come across a video and I'm like, who is this for? This sucks. This makes me like upset with like humanity, Old man yells at cloud, but I'm like, who is this for?
Man, that is
Drew Gooden had a good video about
upsetting.
AI on the internet as well. That was like just really diving into it in general, like all the horrors that you can find that have millions of views.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff. It's something that really concerns me in terms of like it bothers me so much that I hate watching it a lot of times. Like even like when people do exposés about it, like it reminds me of years ago there was that huge thing about children's YouTube and like pregnant Elsa Spider-Man stuff.
Yes, it's like everything has become that.
Yeah, like when even like learning about those and like seeing the video, like they were kind of disturbing to me in a way. And this sounds like similarly just like annoying of like, as like, of course it's like fueling like, of course it's using the like incel Sigma framework. It
is often using that. Yes.
Right. It's like so tiring and just very some anti-human stuff on the TL.
Well, and it's a bummer that like YouTube is like, have you considered doing this? And it's like, no, I don't think that's very good. I'd rather not, thank you.
Yeah,
and
it's also it's hard to tell because those AI channels obviously are going to be the type where they're like purchasing initial subscribers and doing weird whatever they can.
Probably some of that
obviously,
too, manipulation and what have you.
Yeah, like obviously some people are going to watch it, but like doing stuff like that to really, game the metrics and get the videos out there and being recommended to real people as quickly as possible.
Yeah, some of it's good old-fashioned clickbait, which has been around since the beginning of time, and some of it's like using these tools to just pump out videos. Because Mother's Basement like goes through it and goes through one of the more popular examples, and it's like, yeah, some of these videos don't hit, but if you make 100 videos a week that are like this, then your success rate's just going to go up, and it's going to just like funnel to the other ones, and suddenly that people get trapped in that kind of loop. And if they're presumably children are mostly watching this, and then it just like sucks away all the oxygen.
Totally. Yeah, no, it's scary stuff, but I mean,
I can't let it get you down.
Yeah, I think I will say, like, if there's any silver like one thing it did kind of jog my memory of, because there's I guess the infamous people would be like your James Somertons, who are just kind of like cribbing other people's videos or stealing like scripts and just narrating them, or it's been infamous for like a very long time of like, oh, these like lazy YouTubers are just making videos where they're just recapping the anime, that's all they're doing. So I think it does like give a little bit more of a spark of like, okay, what is different between you and AI? You know what I mean? Like it does in a way that probably to a lot of people is like affirming in their content, and to other people might be like a little bit of a kick in the pants of like, okay, let me put more effort, you know.
Right. I mean, yeah, I try to avoid the summary trap as best I can, but when you're scripting, it definitely is like, oh, but what shouldn't I explain this and shouldn't I explain that?
Yeah.
I am very
And
self-critical
it's
of my
not
own videos.
bad.
These videos are so much worse than anything I've ever made.
Exactly. Yeah. It's because it's not bad. Like if you need to summarize for context in a video essay, or like exactly like you said, like if you're doing a creative anime recap, I think that there's value added content, for sure in there.
No, totally. There's ways to do this where it's like a show, a product, a content, and then there's this,
Totally.
whatever this thing is.
Yeah, this many-headed monster. Speaking of something that's very anti-AI, a YouTube video that I saw this week.
Oh, sure.
That
Let's keep going
I was
with
very entertained by. Was are you familiar with the YouTuber Big Joel?
I am. I believe I follow Big Joel on Blue Sky.
Yes, I don't usually watch his videos. He's always like dunking on the correct people on like Twitter and Blue Sky. Like that's kind of been my view of him, even though I do know that he's like made videos. But yeah, I've never really like. I'll click on a video of his every now and again, but it's not like my go-to choice for who's gonna tell me about left-wing politics today.
Right.
But I got
you go to
recently
Sean
recommended.
For that. You go to Funny Skull Man.
Yeah, I love Sean. Very good guy. But yeah, Sean's only gonna tell me the news like once a year in a 4-hour video probably. So
this new video by Joel is making the rounds. Yeah, the World's Fair one, right? Is that what you're about to talk about?
Yes. So this topic is of huge interest to me. Have you seen this video?
I have not. It's been on my like it's one of those things where YouTube keeps serving it to me because it's like, we know you're into this, and I am into it.
Yeah, we know it's a matter of time.
I haven't it hasn't hit me when it's like, yes, 34 minutes. That's exactly what I want right now.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no. So I clicked on it because obviously living in Japan, like this World's Fair type, the expo has been going on for pretty much all of the summer, and then I think it finishes. There's 3 more days, so I could go this weekend, and I would be just under the bar. But I don't think I will because
Mallory, if you pitch me the World's Fair at the end of this episode, I'm not going to make it in time. I have bad news for you.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not really going to be in our domain. But
I need my Andor video to get a couple 100 million more views first, and then maybe I'll fly out there.
Absolutely. But yeah, no, it's been something that's been of huge interest to me. For one, a friend of ours, their like dance team was performing in the USA pavilion thing. And they came to visit me in Japan, and also like visit their like dance members. They weren't able to like join for the full time that they would have needed to stay in Japan for the dance thing. So that was one intriguing thing. They also, I don't know if this is like breaking government secrets. They had a bit because they're showing like the fusion and evolution of dance and all these styles and like influences, right? And incorporating like African American history and stuff, because a lot of I think most of the dancers are black, right? So it's like we're getting all of that good agenda stuff in, and then they did some like ballroom stuff, and then in their kind of like video they had accompanying it, there were like explicit mentions of transgender people influencing the culture. And one day some fuck from this administration showed up and watched it and said, "We gotta take that out," and they had to take it out. So there you go.
That's
so
lame.
That's the inside scoop on the World Expo. I don't know how many.
Wait, are you telling me that like the Japanese government is conservative?
No, the U.S. government, like
here?
someone from the U.S. government came to watch it. The Japanese government's like, yeah, these are American people, like do whatever.
I see.
And they were doing whatever.
Too polite to pull it down
months.
in Japan, but then the U.S. government officials like, yeah, I may be in a different country, but no. Transphobia. Wah.
Yeah, they were like, take it down. So yeah, that was
lame.
interesting. But so
this
video,
our mutual friend was
in
this whole controversy and went to visit this thing, and you didn't go with them.
No, because I'm busy, Sam.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I'm so busy, so but also honestly I just felt so weird about the whole concept of like a world expo or world fair,
Mhm.
you know?
It
Was a
feels like
very
something that like hasn't happened since the 20s, but it always is happening.
it feels I feel like it could have happened in like 2015 and post
Mhm.
2016. I don't know how I feel about the idea of a world's fair, especially one where America is present.
What an
And
interesting date. That's very curious.
yeah, for something about that, just kind of the gradient of the years, I think,
Just a
just
general
flipped over at
souring
that
of
point. General
everything.
souring. Yeah, probably the liberal media corrupted me too much at that point. And it
Probably
was
so,
nothing to
yeah.
do with world events. But yeah, I think that so it was very interesting. So it was nice to have someone with like those kind of similar views walking around and just kind of sarcastically commenting on stuff, because I just think it's an appropriate, I think that there's a time and place for sarcastic, wry commentary, and I think that that
Mhm.
is the what is
That's what this
basically a
Big
bunch
Joel
of
video is
like
doing, is what you're saying.
yes, what is basically a bunch of tourism ads that are like clawing for Japanese bucks. I think is an appropriate venue for someone to be just kind of like sarcastic. Good thing about this video though is this is the reason why I brought this up, is because we were talking about AI. Is
Mhm.
Big Joel does something that AI could never do, which is for every pavilion of every country he goes, and there's going to be like 10 or 11 in this video. He
Mhm.
makes a song, he makes a musical intro to him, and they're all using stock music, and
Oh,
they're all
good.
just him kind of singing like, I went to the Korean pavilion, like this kind of thing. And the best one is the Chinese pavilion one, is really really good. And I made a
You
cover
gonna
of
hit
it
us with a
already.
rendition of it? Is that what is that
Do you
we're gonna
want me
hear a little
to?
preview? Absolutely.
I spent time trying to figure out how to play it on ukulele. So here we go. So
Unbelievable.
here we go.
We did not plan this. I did not know that was the thing.
I didn't either. I did not plan this when I got on this episode. But I realized what's what's the harm. So here's my rendition of Chinese Pavilion, and I'll probably record another version of it. I'll probably put it up somewhere as like a YouTube short. But yeah, it's soon to be top 40 hit. Why did you leave me at the Chinese Pavilion, girl? Why did you leave me at the Chinese Pavilion, girl? Why did you leave me at the Chinese Pavilion, girl? Why did you leave me at the Chinese Pavilion, girl? So pretty amazing song. Pretty just good song.
Has the
That I've been
ukulele
singing
made
to
an
myself.
appearance on this podcast before? Because I know it's always within arm's reach. Like I remember from D&D days.
Yeah, when I just break out. No, it has not. So I think I should do more covers. And just make that a bit.
Put in the comments if you want more ukulele covers in the podcast, or
Yeah.
if you don't, that's also okay. You can leave those comments.
Yeah, I can do Chinese Pavilion for way longer. There's
see.
actually a lot more to the song. Not like words wise or content wise, just kind of repeated. But you can go for as long as you want. Honestly, mark of any good song.
Well, now that we've drawn in new audiences from the music community, like bees to honey,
Yes.
I think it's about time we get into our main discussion about Chainsaw Man. See, I
Yeah.
don't have a pun this
The
week.
best.
I don't think it needs one. It's a very
no, I
serious
had a good one.
show.
No, there's a good one. No, Sam.
No, you
This is
didn't.
the
No,
best
it's
Sam, this is the best movie that I've ever chainsaw.
I don't get paid enough for this.
おいしい
Well, thanks, Mallory, for that great segue. Anyway, so I sent you to the. I did a thing. I did a bad thing for this podcast, right? I broke the rules, Some would call it revenge. I wouldn't use that word, but many people are saying that it was a tactical, strategic act of vengeance, righteous vengeance. Some would say. Many people are saying. But I pitched you something that I could not myself watch. The movie is not out in the U.S. yet. It will be out in the next couple weeks, and I will go see it as soon as I can. But I said, what if Mallory goes and watches this movie and also this anime that I'm deeply familiar with, but that I can't watch? And so, yeah, that's what I did. Because I hate you. Anyway,
Yeah.
Who said what?
So we've... So basically, we fully just, the whole thing of the podcast is just up in the air now. Like, it's really anything goes. The Nobody Leaves podcast, our tagline now. So we'll see. I'll have to see if I can engineer a way to possibly use that in a way that would be justified in the future. But the precedent is set. So I did.
Well, it's not like I can't not talk. It's like I can still. I have knowledge. I know what goes on in the Reze Arc.
Yes, but I will be the one to fulfill you in. Which, by the way, I was talking to one of our mutual friends about this, and saying like, yeah, I'm gonna be the only one that watched the movie, and Sam's like not gonna know all the stuff about the shots and the editing and the animation. And my friend's like, but you're not gonna be able to describe that.
Yeah, Mallory, how's the cinematography of how's the shot composition? How's the pacing? What do you think about Reze?
Have you ever heard of Sakuga?
Yes, I'm familiar with the concept.
All right,
she's the third member of the Team 7, right? That's
okay. So let's delay the discussion of the movie. I want to talk about the series first because we got to talk about it in order. And I've leaked this to you like prior to this episode, but I have like more negative feelings towards the movie than I do the series, and I feel like if we focus too much on the movie, if we focus too much on the movie, then I'm going to be too negative about it. And I don't know. Like, spoiler alert, I think it is mostly just due to pacing and emphasis and the fact that I don't know the story beforehand when I'm watching it. But I think, series very good. And speaking of the third member of Team 7, Sakuga, a important note that I made when I was discussing Chainsaw Man was I feel like maybe the problem with Naruto is not that Sakura was not a fully developed character that got enough screen time and arcs to herself, but was that she wasn't replaced by an insane person. Like, I think that just kind of fixes the whole Naruto dynamic. Is what if you just took out Sakura and just put in a complete feral psychopath? And
what if there were two Narutos? Works. Like,
yes, and they're button heads all the time, and
absolutely.
Naruto gets to have character development and learn about how annoying he is because he has to be in proximity to another Naruto.
Mallory, what character could you possibly be talking about?
I love Power. Actually, this is a huge reveal for you. This is just like a performance episode,
We did it, Chainsaw Man fans. We got her.
They got me, and I did not expect to like this series.
I didn't. Listen, I had one hope, and it was Power.
Based on the commercial for the series, where he's like, "I want to get boobs!" I was like, "Wow, this is gonna be a really good show."
And then it was. Shut up.
Power's good. She does.
His desire for sexualizing women is a manifestation of his repressed background. Shut up. It's deep.
Listen, this is my review of Chainsaw Man. It's like this. Like,
let me hear it. Do we need to get the ukulele back out?
That's my review.
Was that the Power dance? Did you learn the Power dance in like 5 days?
Yeah. It was really good. I've been doing it. It's a good dance.
Wait, I thought you said you didn't have any time.
Well, I had to. I just have to do things that I care about.
Now, hold on a second.
I've been really stuck on this. I did use a lot of the time that I would normally use to watch other things with just listening to the music from 12 endings on this bad boy. you can fit 12 ending songs into this thing.
Slaps
And
the roof of Chainsaw Man. We can have so many endings, and they all have different animations.
Listen to this baby
and
purr.
it's cool and really expensive and maybe a little excessive, but it's cool.
So good. So worth it. No skips on this playlist, baby. Like, even if you're not going to watch this show, like, if you like punk, if you like, edgy, kind of like metal-y, kind of poppy, kind of sounding songs, if you just want a good listen, you got to get these ending songs in your playlist. So much good to talk about.
I think they're quietly like a great marketing tool for Chainsaw Man, because I remember when season 1 was coming out, like, every week, like, they'd go viral because it's like, look at this insane animation, and it's like there's the one from the Eternity Devil episode where it's like all kaleidoscopic and like it's they just do a lot of cool, interesting things, and then of course the Power one.
Yeah, a lot of like the fact that they, there's 2 episodes that are dealing with that like Eternity Devil part, and they get to both have fun in different ways with like the endless stare picture that everyone loves to like mess with. It's like, I mean, that's good stuff. Like the fact that we're seeing 2 iterations of this idea, I'm like, yeah, baby, this is some good stuff.
There's the one that looks like a weird like 70s anime where all the girls look very strange. Like,
oh my god, it gets you get like that pink and light blue like kind of title screen or whatever,
and it's all like the TV static and effects and all that.
Baby, yeah, just some real good. Even the one like they do justice. There's a song, it's Deep by Eimer. That's like the one. I believe it's the episode where the character that I'm cosplaying dies. Is
I think you're right.
Where they're doing like the like liquid changes into this thing and then changes into this thing, like kind of thing that good animators like to do.
I'm 14 and this is deep.
Good.
Wait a minute, is it actually deep? This is kind of good.
It's actually deep. I watched there's this like animator I watch on YouTube who's like really talented, recently made this like amazing homage like parody to like the trend where you used to like animate characters to like crawling in my skin and like stuff like that. Like she like put like the unregistered hypercam 2 in the top corner type thing,
making fun of like old AMV culture.
Yeah. That kind of thing, and like they're doing they put crawling in my skin in it, and there's like the like black kind of like blood, and it like drips off of the thing or whatever, and it's like done really shittily in that like classic style. And like it made me think of that. I was like, wow, but
yeah, like, but what if it looked like $1 million? Like, what if it was animated
that can be
really
done well. The vision is there on those old AMVs. They just need, a lot of money and poor working conditions, apparently, that you've told me about.
Yeah, Studio Mappa. So I know you came across some of this while you were watching season 1. Some folks are kind of pissy about this adaptation, and I think a lot of that back in the day had to do with the fact that Studio Mappa was animating like everything the year this came out. Like they took over Attack on Titan in its last season and a half or so. They were doing Jujutsu Kaisen. They were doing this. It was like Studio Mappa's announcing a whole lot of stuff. I think was it them or Wit? They were announcing a ton of projects at the time, and it was just like, all right, this is a lot. And then around that time, you started hearing things like, mistreatment of workers, which is nothing new in the animation industry, but came to a head a bit with Mappa around that time. Then you also just have people saying that people are really passionate about this manga, which, same here. But I think the adaptation does a good job. I like it.
Yeah. That was the thing that I was more confused about. Like, I understand, like, any adaptation is going to twist and screw it in a certain way or be forced to interpret something in a way that like it, by nature of being an adaptation, it cannot be the manga. Like something's got to change. But I think that like and having that curiosity made me start reading the manga, and I read up to the movie Reze, but then I did not go back and read the Reze arc. I just stuck with what was covered in the first 12 chapters. And
Look at you
reading it, I was
doing
like,
the manga homework.
because it bothered me, because I was like, I feel like this is amazing. Like, did it really change that drastically? And I was like, I wish manga that I liked got adaptations like this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, I think, poor working conditions aside, which, yeah, it's not good that they like do that. But these are two separate criticisms. Like, it's in terms of like a piece of art, this is like really well done.
The separate criticism of being like it's a poor adaptation for like art direction reasons or pacing reasons or what have you. Like, for the most part, I'm like, I think it was done very well.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that has to do with the classic problem of like you instantly like the version that you learned first, right? And so Chainsaw Man is this, at the time, kind of obscure series that people who love it really love it, and I was myself included in that. Like, it had that kind of feeling to it of like discovering something that was like, I mean, listen, this is a Shonen Jump backed title. Like, it's not the most secretive like manga in the world.
It's underground.
But it did have that feeling of like, no one knows that this series is out there, but it's really good. It had that kind of like groundswell behind it. And so I get people being nervous about an adaptation, because some adaptations get things wrong. But it also has there's a third crowd, which is if anime has CG at all, it's trash, throw it away forever, grind up like 800 more animators because that's worth it. Like, get this out of here. I think the CG in Chainsaw Man is perfectly fine. I think it makes sense to make Denji's head and Chainsaw's CG. I think it looks good. It's supposed to look like distinct to the rest of the world, and I think it's fine. But there are some people who that's like a deal breaker for no matter what.
Yeah, there's even parts the way I honestly felt by the CG, and it might have been like with me being introduced to the Goodbye Eri manga first that you recommended to me, is like, you know, the facial expressions are so distinctive in that manga, and like really pop out, and they look kind of 3D in a way. Like, they look kind of like rotating 3D heads, to where it's like, I don't know, it's like, if anything, I'm like they look kind of Uncanny Valley, almost, like that's like the style. And I think that the 3D kind of introduces that sometimes. I don't know, like, even though I don't like, did they 3D animate anyone's heads? I got vibes sometimes where it felt 3D-ish, and I was like, this, but it like felt like, I'm like, oh yes, I'm seeing like this like mangaka's work on screen, because like that's how he draws heads. It's kind of weird.
Tatsuki Fujimoto, I think that's also part of why people love the manga. It's because his artwork doesn't feel like other artwork. Like, if you read a lot of Shonen Jump, a lot of it kind of feels the same, and some of it like, different artists obviously have their own flares and styles and what have you, but it's a lot of speed lines, it's a lot of like it's a lot of pretty similar looking like characters and hair and everything else, and facial expressions, especially like eyes and mouth and nose or what have you. And then Fujimoto, while sometimes very crude in other aspects of his art, which I think is charming, his facial expressions are like, when he wants them to, they can be very expressive and very. He draws people crying better than I think anyone I've ever seen, which is a weird distinction. Not that people ever end up crying in Chainsaw Man. I wouldn't dare say that.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a pretty happy-go-lucky
I guess
series.
That's no spoilers here. But
Yeah.
He's the only one. Nothing bad happens after this arc.
Yeah, thankfully. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's all
the one person who dies.
They got rid of Reze, and then it's all uphill from here. You know.
Yeah, man, what a good shit. Let's talk about the show. It's good. I like. Yeah.
I like it. I'm a fan.
I think. So let's do the obligatory like women thing.
We don't have to,
because this.
You're saying we have to. We don't have to.
I have to, because it's
right,
what
Mallory.
I think about when I watch everything. Like, that's it. I want people to know I'm not doing this to, like, grovel at the foot of woke. Like, I am woke. Like, this is all I think about when I watch, like, shows, and it really bothers me a lot of times. And when it doesn't happen, like, I don't know, when I'm watching, like, Summer Hikaru Died or reading Gekane Banashi, I think is amazing, or watching Steven Universe, I'm like, finally, I cannot worry about. You know what I mean?
So
like,
listen, I'm gonna say
Yeah.
a phrase that scares a lot of people, but if you read / watched Chainsaw Man and did not at any point consider the gender politics of Chainsaw Man,
Yeah.
then I would just recommend you read a Fujimoto interview from time to time, because it's like it's all there.
Yes.
You and I go back and forth on whether or not characters are a Mineta. We had a long conversation about Quinta from Dawn to Dawn recently, but I would say you and I are not generally fans of like the pervert archetype, the like flip girls skirts archetype. Like, it's weird tropey stuff that's very popular in a lot of different anime for whatever reason. This is not that, I don't think. But I want to hear your initial reactions to Denji, and then maybe if they changed over time.
Yeah. I mean, I think, like, so my worst reaction was watching the trailer, because it just really markets itself, at least the one trailer that I saw is really marketing itself in the way of, like, he really looks like a Mineta with the way those clips are cut together, because it's very, like, oh, boob this, boob that, and then it's just like showing different scenes of him like touching the girls,
Duh-duh. Yeah.
you know. And without the context of like those scenes, you're just kind of like, okay, like, but
because you saw the trailer for the Reze movie, right? Not the
yeah,
main series.
That's
yeah,
what.
That's,
like
that's an interesting
just in my
spot to
regular
jump in
YouTube
on.
feed. yeah, definitely. But yeah, then like seeing the actual show, they just make him so, they do such a good job from jump of like, this is who this character is, like really framing everything very intentionally, and he's just so pathetic and is constantly compared to an animal.
Yes.
And it's like not pathetic in a way like I'm pointing at laughing at you because you're pathetic, or I'm calling you pathetic in a way to make a dig, but pathetic in a way of like, this poor sad like, this is like the saddest man you've ever seen.
He ain't got a single friend in the world except for his Chainsaw Man dog. Like, he is, he's living in a shack. He still has a water bill somehow, even though he's living in a shack on the outskirts of town. He's trying to make a loaf of bread last a month. Like, he's sold so much of himself so quickly. Like, first page, it's like, yeah, I sold my kidney, sold my eye, sold one of my balls. Weird that that's come up in two anime we've covered, but
see, the thing is like, it almost like, even though it came out before Dun Dun Dun, and like you've talked about the relationship between those two and like the authors and stuff, like it feels to me when I'm watching it feels like a response to Dun 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 of like, Dun 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 is like, oh no, we gotta get his balls back, versus like this one is like, yep, like another day, another dollar. Yeah, like I didn't even get that much money for it, you know. It's like very just puts you right in like, yeah, the saddest man you've ever met. That is such a good point, that he has to pay a water bill on like what looks to be an abandoned like building that he's squatting in. Like,
well, and he eats the cigarette for like the equivalent of a dime, like not even $1. It's like, here's a coin, like here's 100 yen piece. Like, oh man,
just so disrespected. And then like continuing throughout the series, he is constantly dehumanized at every turn. Like, he is constantly treated as a dog and an animal, like very explicitly. Like, it's not like a metaphor as much as it is like characters to his face are like, you are a dog, you know, like respond with hi or wang, like yes or woof. Like,
there's a lot of like, a lot of mistreatment of this person, and like they very quickly establish like, you have no human rights. And I would say maybe the deeper message that is bubbling below the surface is like, did you really have many rights before this? Like, there's a lot. I think a lot about the like things that Tatsuki Fujimoto doesn't like, right? And it's they're pretty obvious when you look at Chainsaw Man and most of his works. It's like, all right, what are they trying to find? Bullets. What are they trying to stop? The gun devil. Who is Denji working for, and who is like he's subservient to? The government. And it's like, all right, he doesn't like America, guns, Japan. Like, there's just a list of like places where like the world fails Denji are a direct commentary by him on like where the world fails many people, right? And so you can also throw in like money systems and capitalism and all that if you want to.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, general anime fans. This is a series that both covers gender politics and capitalism. Scary.
Oh no. Yeah, no, it is really like square and precise with this commentary. I think that and just the whole, because you get kind of like I've been wanting to rewatch Psycho-Pass, also because the guy who sang the amazing Psycho-Pass theme song is on one of the ending songs. Yeah, TK, he's really good. But just in terms of like, I'm like, when I watched that, whenever I was kind of like, oh yeah, I'm curious how I feel about like police discussions nowadays. You know what I mean?
Well, I know that Psycho-Pass gets
like
really into immigration politics, especially like in its later seasons. And I know that like the Japanese perspective on that is very interesting. The American perspective on that is very interesting. I use the word interesting a lot when I mean horrifying, but like, let's just leave it there. But I'd be curious to go back to Psycho-Pass knowing a little bit more about geopolitics now.
Exactly. But yeah, like I think in that context, like police wise, or like having a character like join up with like which demon hunters aren't the police, but they're
the government, right?
In a certain way, for sure.
Yeah.
And like in the like Aki pretty explicitly like draws a comparison between like them and the police when they're in that like first apartment that they're putting down that one demon in,
right?
Like him and Denji on their kind of patrol, and it's like pretty like, it's like, yeah, you are a slave of the police, and like it does not seem to be like pulling any punches when it comes to like telegraphing like, hey, this organization that you're working for is not the best. Like
they'll dispose of you like instantly if needed.
Yes, yeah, like very, like everyone talks to him like he's dirt, and he just thinks it's normal, I feel like, and it's just like, yeah, okay. And
that's before we even get into the conversation about how like the fiends are treated, right? Like, it's one thing,
of course, right?
It's fictional world, like, quote unquote, understanding that the fiends wouldn't have as many rights, and you expect like a story to start unpacking that over time. But it's like, no, Denji doesn't even have any rights. Like, Denji, just by being a person, or at least born a person, is now just like a weird like WMD that like the country like takes ownership of in a weird way. But so Denji, so you were sold on him from like sad sack moment one, basically, or did it take like?
No, pretty much, because it was like, because then what happened, like the reason why when you have an anime character being like, oh, titties, is because it's kind of dehumanizing, right?
Sure.
But you just accept him dehumanizing people because he is so dehumanized, like and he doesn't even, it's such a good writing trick to make him not even really recognize the fact that he's being constantly dehumanized. Like, he's just like, oh, sweet, like I got jam on my bread, like there's absolutely zero, like people will say the most horrible, like, you have no human rights. He's like, all right, fine, whatever. Like,
whatever. Yeah. At least I can hang out with Makima.
Yeah, exactly. So you just kind of give it a pass because you're like, of course, like, how could he be expected to treat the people around him with any respect when, like, he doesn't understand what respect could even look like?
Right.
You know what I mean?
His own morals are like completely out of whack, but by spending the time in the first episode, the first few chapters, like being like, here's why, he's still sympathetic, even though he's a little bit of a psychopath. Like, doing things like throwing cars full of people at demons or devils and stuff like that. It's just you kind of get it.
Yeah, and then the thing this show that it does that I really like and I find really fun and interesting is like the development of his morals, like the progression, like obviously going throughout the series, which is also like intertwined like really well with his like progression of like the understanding of relationships and like what it is that he actually wants out of women. You know, like it's a misconception that he just wants to touch like boobs because it like after he gets what he wants, he realizes, oh, that's not satisfying at all, you know. And he's just slowly building this understanding at the same time that he's like building an understanding of morality and the world around him. And it's framed really well because
love,
yes,
like,
it's framed really well because like there's let's not be too philosophy about it, but like I mean, but like I know you're familiar with this concept, but it's like the idea that morals are like not a high and lofty objective thing that we have created, but they are like a result of what us as the human animal like desire,
like a product of society, right? Like it's as community became emphasized in like people, then we added like laws and morals and what have you on top of that. Is one philosophical argument.
Or like laws and morals being a label for like human kind of desires or parts of the human psyche that exist. Like we feel hungry for food. Like nothing tells us that we should be hungry for food. Like we feel hunger naturally, and we feel guilt, and we feel like the desire to protect someone, and but we also feel the desire to hurt someone. So it's just
right.
Like,
there are two different perspectives on it, right? It's like our laws and like societal norms a byproduct of human nature, or are they implemented to curb like our base instincts? Like it's like one or the other, and it's like probably a combination of both in reality. But like when you're in philosophy 101, like you and I have been in, it's a lot of like, let's boil this down.
Yeah. And it's like, I think it works really well. I think the series does a good job of like, at least at this point, like not taking too firm of a side on it. And probably I feel like it will continue to explore the nuances by having Denji develop morals, typically not by being taught, but by being like, by just like experiencing stuff and having the realizations by himself is really satisfying character arc to follow. Like,
he's
it's
a blank
really
canvas that's like drugged through the mud, and like as different like splashes of mud get on him, it like paints a new picture of him, right? Like these metaphors getting lost on me, but like he just is he's a sponge, and he's like soaking up like 16 years of misdevelopment, where like he goes from like very base needs of I want food to I want sex to I want love, which is so much more complicated than just wanting sex, and it's like it just becomes this interesting exploration of like, is that who he is, or is that where it stops, or what, those different things.
Yeah, like even his loyalty to Makima feels like the loyalness of a dog to its owner. You know what I mean? Like it feels like I as much as like Makima does have the ability to like cuss a little spell on him, you know what I mean? Like I feel like I do also have the sense that if he met any of these other women first, he would just be like, oh, well, everything's about you and I can't betray you. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like,
it's like hopefully he lands on the right person, right? As opposed to the wrong person.
Right. It feels like there's an element of that. And like maybe, when it's inevitably the like penny drops that he realizes like Makima isn't a good person, he will hopefully maybe challenge that like
Mallory, what do you
idea.
mean?
I feel like that's an interesting upcoming story beat. I love Makima, amazing. Like
what do you mean? She's great. She's like, she upholds like law and justice, and she gave Denji a job and paired him up with Aki.
She's based.
And what'd you say?
She's based. She
she's based.
she upholds the rule of law, which is what
Yeah.
based means.
And she's hot, and like what?
Oh,
Makima's got like no problems.
I like that you gave me Sinners. I feel like Halloween's been the sex month because you gave me Sinners and that was all about cunnilingus, and then you gave me this and it's all about femdom, and we're just kind of like exploring the different.
That's not my
topics.
fault. That's Fujimoto's fault. All right,
This,
I just skip over those chapters and I squint my eyes. All right, like.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, no, very, very good character, very good friend. That relationship is the most interesting thing to me in the show, and really like drives me through it. I'm so excited to see the evolution because it's just someone who's like obviously lying to anyone who has any sense of the world, and just having the most gullible protagonist. Like, it's just so satisfying, man.
Mallory, she's so nice to him. Like, what are you talking about?
Shakespeare was cooking with that dramatic irony thing. Like, when he came up with that, I'm pretty sure he invented that, I think.
Something I love.
It was a good idea.
Talking adaptation for a second, right? I'm going to drop the kayfabe. Yeah. Obviously, Makima's a little sinister. And I like all the different ways the like openings and endings can represent that. Whereas in the manga, like it's all just happening in the background, right? For now, like
right.
We're in the early days of Chainsaw Man in these first two arcs, and it's like, don't know what Makima's deal is yet. You have no idea, but she's feeding him a weird like psychedelic slug in the opening, and it's like that's a fun weird visual to be like. We're gonna go a little further than like forbidden fruit. Like it doesn't need to be an apple. Yeah. We're gonna make it a weird hypnotoad looking like slug thing, escargot. Like it's like luxury and drugs, and it's just like they do a good job saying a lot early, I guess. I don't know how else to put it. Like they're not spoiling things for people who are experiencing Chainsaw Man for the first time through this adaptation, but they are giving people what they want who maybe know a little bit more.
Yeah, like the dramatic irony as well is just like enhances it in a way. Like it's just well written in that way, I think. So even without knowing what the weird psychedelic slug things literally are, you're like, yes,
Mallory, I don't know. There's no literal to it. I don't know what they are either, but I can just make it a lot of different inferences on it powers? based on like what I know, future spoilers, but also just like that's a cool, weird visual for a very weird, cool show with interesting character dynamics. Yeah. I'll leave it at that.
Dang, man, good series. Power's amazing, as we said. Don't gotta say so much more about. Can we talk about we should talk about Aki. I want to talk about Himeno.
We'll talk about Haki and Himeno, but a quick thing on Power. Since I first read and then also later watched this series, I have gotten a cat, and now Meowie makes me much happier. I was not a cat guy when I first experienced Chainsaw Man, and now I have a cat at my feet right now.
Has it taught you the value of life and love and friendship?
It has. I am way more on Team Power than I already was, because like the what is it? What's the thing? It's like I love blood. Like she's got her own like very base devil instinct. But what did she learn? That blood is warm, and I think that's a really sweet, succinct little character arc for Power in her introduction. While she's also like holding a decapitated bear, you know.
Just like taking bites out of it. Yeah, I think it's really good. I've said this before. My favorite thing in any fiction is where you have protagonist, two side characters that are the main side characters, and they represent the two opposite ideals. We got Ralse and Susie, you know, like this is my thing, and I love the
Power Aki Denji trio.
Like, introduced is very satisfying. Power there's just, I mean, it's just like women are allowed to have hobbies and flaws. There you go. And what do you know? Everyone loves this character. Like, who could have thought? Yes, very, very, very good.
Could you imagine if Power's
Aki is
like
super
big,
fun and interesting.
like like her big moment in the Bat Devil fight would be like cutting her own hair. Could you imagine if that's like we're still there like 15 years later, 20 years later? Like that's the big like emotional character moment.
Totally. Yeah, no, it's very fun. And I think there's maybe a potential hint of her developing feelings towards Denji in the boob scene. Which I also like. I feel like that's her. Because, okay, so help me understand. So she's a fiend. So she was a devil. She was like a monstrous creature that possessed a dead body.
Yes.
That is the power body that we see walking around. So
Yes.
she hasn't had a human body for like the first part of her life, and then now does.
Yes. So devils. I think they've said this at this point where you're at, but like devils are concepts, right? So like the first one we see is like the tomato devil, and they're kind of fueled by fear. And so like the more someone's scared of something, the more powerful the devil. So the gun devil is this horrifying like monstrosity that you haven't seen yet, but it's like it got manifested by a bunch of different fears. You can't really kill them. You can like hunt them, and then they eventually come back like from hell. I think it's not really like a spoiler to say that. So Power at some point, I don't know what she looked like, but she was some kind of weird blood monster, and she took over a human and then became Power as we know her. But
so
she's the blood devil. Yeah. But she's the blood devil in a human body. And the human she took over is dead. Like it's just she took over a corpse.
Right. So like it's interesting. I think the booby scene is good because it's like she doesn't understand seemingly like the appeal of like sex, right? So then she like she has the pads in. She's like, oh yeah, I've just made them bigger or whatever, and they like fall out, and then she doesn't pick them up seemingly out of laziness after they like fall out, and then she's having like the little like it's just good, like the just meta like when he first touches it, she's like, oh wow, like she's just like so good, and like she's like laughing and stuff, and then when she's like he touches second, it's like straight face and just like that, like just like, and it's like I don't know, it's like this monster learning humanity through having a human body is like a interesting concept.
Well, you got to assume that like she knows that like bigger boobs are desirable or whatever because she like read it on a poster or something. Like she doesn't have any knowledge of anything. There's so many times where Denji is saying something innate or insane, but because she doesn't know many humans, she's like, oh, all humans are so strange, even though it's a classic trope, right? But it's great that she's paired with Denji, who is very much not a normal person, and so and he's going around
he's
like
probably a good bridge between her and humanity as like a like it's established very firmly about him that he is more devil-like than human-like just in his default state before he even becomes like whatever he is now that he's like fused with Pochita.
Well, in addition to not having normal human morals, he's also like, yeah, devils, sure, they're fine. I don't have any opinion either way. Like, he doesn't have that prejudice, which is like a big sticking point with Aki, obviously, early on.
Which
Sasuke.
I really like how that's which I really great take on the Sasuke character. I love that like he is so open about his view. He's like and there's no nuance. There's no like it's not like a little bit like I made a rash assumption about a devil, but I'm kind of like entertaining both sides. And then the hero's like, oh, I'm a little wary, but maybe I trust devils. It's like, no, he's like, all devils should die. I don't think they have human rights. I don't think you have human rights. I think you should die. And Denji is like, I don't give a shit. Like,
I think what he
I am loyal to no one.
Is like, yeah, I would side with whoever wins is Power's answer. And then Denji's like, sounds good. Like,
he says, I'll side with whoever takes care with me, which I think is a great.
It's a very important distinction. Thank you.
yeah, it's a distinction, but also like showing how similar their characters are. Of like, we don't discriminate, like type of thing. Um, uh, uh, but yeah, like it's fun that he's allowed to say that, and
Right.
he again is allowed to say that because, like, he's weirdly empowered by having no rights in some ways because they're like, yeah, we can put you down whenever. So he will like mouth off or whatever, but as long as he's useful, like,
Right.
they're gonna keep him around.
He's pretty good at killing devils. He killed that
Yeah,
eternity devil
exactly.
in a real Denji like way.
Definitely, I love that arc. But to yeah, talk Aki stuff. I mean, easy revenge, baby. Did not think I was gonna cry in Chainsaw Man. And I didn't,
Ladies
but
and
I was
gentlemen,
like, it was welling up. Yeah.
we got her.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
real good.
I like the rapid pace. Like revenge characters, we've seen a lot of them, over the years.
Yeah.
And I like that it's
I
like
gotta find a way to kill my dad.
sure. I like that this series, like from the jump, is like that's really dumb. Like you should just like appreciate the time you have left and like mourn the passing of your family, but like not ruin your life in this pursuit of something that is ultimately meaningless.
Yes.
Like sometimes that takes, a full video game or a full story to like get across, or a full side story. This, it's like everyone is telling him that immediately, at least the people who aren't manipulating him, and Himeno is like very actively like, no, Aki, that's dumb. And she's someone
Right.
who's lost like 6 other Akis, and it's just like goes the opposite approach of like they're both like nihilistic, but hers is more like live in the moment, or like live in excess,
Yeah.
drug, sex, rock and roll a little bit, where his is just like, I will hone my anger into my sword or whatever.
So good. The most good boy ever. I think that like he's made more interesting because of that. Like the fact that everyone hits him with those like end of the arc morals like right up front. The fact that it's like you like not just like his predecessors, like Jimenez's like former partners, but also like it's like, yeah, you're surrounded by a million people like you who like all quit or die. So it's
Right.
like there's no mystery as to like the futility. Like you can reckon with like how futile all of their lives were, and like you're not really like you don't get the sense that he feels that he's built different. I mean, maybe, but like as much as he's just reached this point of nihilism of like, I'm gonna keep doing it. You know what I mean? Like there's that great conversation he has with the Kyoto person, I think, who's like in the car, where he's like all you gotta do is just sit there and watch me fail. You know what I mean? Like you like there's
He's
no
got
don't
two modes.
criticize
It's
me.
like the one mode is like,
yeah.
I have the strongest conviction, and therefore I will not die until I slay the gun devil, right? Which just sounds
Yeah.
stupid. Because it is stupid.
It's cool.
And then he has the other version of himself, which is like, you need to have a screw loose to survive in this business, is kind of the theme that keeps coming up over and over again. It's funny that he can't see that in Denji, even though Kishibe can. But like, Aki is not immune to that rule. Aki is effective at what he does because he is crazy. He's just crazy in a different way, like in a one-track mind way.
No, it's really good. I love how threatening Denji is to his whole worldview. And then that smile at the end of that ending, it just gets me. Like at the little house party that they throw.
Oh yeah, that's good too. But I like even before that, where the two of them have the ball crushing contest, because it's like
yes,
it's like there's nothing better than the straight laced guy like loosening up a little bit, and I think this is maybe one of my favorite examples ever of that, where it's like there's the beat. It's really well paced in the anime, but also in the manga, where it just has like the one beat where he's like considering, and he's like just starts rolling up his sleeve, like, what do I get if I win? It's so perfect. It's all you need. Denji's rubbing off on him in all the worst ways, but it's great.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's good. You're getting like some color into this just very black and white individual. Very cool guy. Jimenez, cool. I just like she's just like Misato.
Himeno, my favorite unproblematic character. Love her.
And they're both like known for not being weird around minors. So
yeah, Misato and Himeno, just two great gals,
just
totally normal relationships
that,
with their subordinates.
Yeah, that I totally chose to cosplay, and yeah. I mean, what else is there to say?
We have
just
to
cool.
do an Evangelion episode at some point because you have a full Misato cosplay. It's like a rule.
Oh, that's right. I could just put it on. Wow,
you just use your
good
cosplay
point.
you already have.
Wow, there you go. Yeah, no. I think that she's a good character, and it's like, I part of why I'm cosplaying her is I'm not gonna get to cosplay her again because she died, but a lot of it is aesthetic as well. I think that I just like Pirate Eye Patch. I think like older woman character. I'm like, yeah, you're cool, and I like that she tries. I also like. Okay, this is a good segue into my favorite arc, and then we can finally talk about the fucking movie
Sure.
that we promised people. Is the Eternity Devil is the name of it.
Yes. Let's take all these new characters and throw them in a late level boss situation.
Yeah. Really good. I love just the trapped in it vibe. It's like one of my favorite takes on the like we're trapped in an infinite Tsukiyomi type of place, like we can't escape. In that like it's for the same reasons that I like Aki, is that it kind of like has the the jobbers, like the what are their names again?
I don't remember the guy's name because he dies.
He dies.
Kobieni? I don't know how to say her name.
Kobeni. Yeah. Kobeni and
fan favorite.
and
let me tell you. Everyone
Kobeni
loves a
and
fail
the
girl.
guy from the guy from My Hero with the big lips, except he doesn't have big lips anymore.
The Sugar Rush guy?
He just yeah, he looks exactly the same as that guy.
What a poll. Everyone's 18th favorite Class 1A character, Sugar Rush.
17th. I don't think anyone likes the mute character that has animals that looks like a weird Lego
I
blocks.
kind of like that guy. He looks
Really?
like a weird Mega Bloks character. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you're 18th, my 17th. Favorite My Hero character.
There's also generic tail guy. Anyway.
Yeah. I think that it's good, like having them have like the normal freak out panic reactions, and then having like the middle ground, which is like Himeno and Aki, who are like keeping themselves sane, but like it's in a very
extraordinary situation still. Like they are professional about it the whole time, but they're in a pretty bad bind.
Yeah, it's a great way to explore the like how do you stay sane like aspect of the show by like immediately pushing them to their limits and just having them all display like this is the thing that this character leans on when they like feel like they need to keep their sanity or whatever. And the two newbies completely fail at the first hurdle. Like Koveni's already freaking out like before it's 5 minutes has passed. Like they're still figuring out the mystery, and she's like, which is a really great scene in the anime. Just like the constant stream of.
There's the thing with Fujimoto where it's like there's the nature versus nurture argument, and I think largely he's a nurture guy where it's like your experiences make you into this or that. But I think on a humanity-wide scale, I think he is kind of leaning into the nature thing of like it's human nature to be selfish or self-preserving or what have you. Because when you meet characters like Kobeni, like there's a lot of characters, a lot of side characters or like crowd extras whose reaction is to be like, hey, why don't you save me already? Or like, I'm going to immediately like push someone out of the way of like this tornado of devil attack just to be like, I'm safe.
Right.
Like there's a lot of like, he seems to be pretty negative about like people, but he's also very interested in like how experiences shape people to maybe do better or do worse.
Right.
But yeah, I like how
Like,
putting these characters in that box like immediately like brings all the worst out of them.
yes. And it's like it takes a lot of I guess moral strength or just like character development in your own real human life to reach a point where you can be in that situation and like kind of keep things together. And I think like it just I think I liked it because I was in an earthquake. We've talked about this, where like I think that's about as close as like you could be. We weren't like as cut off as other areas, but we were basically just trapped in a like middle school for 6 days, and like yeah, just the way that certain people's like just kind of selfish character traits come out, like it's really like I don't know. I was
You
talking
really
to
get to
this
know
woman who
someone as
was
soon as
like,
you're in a crisis with them, like pretty
Yes.
immediately.
yeah, and I had that with people I was with, and I had that with like there was this woman who worked at the school who like was my like point of talking about like figuring out information or whatever about the situation, and I talked to her and her voice was really hoarse, and I was like, oh, did you get like COVID or something was going around? And she's like, no, I had to like scream basically at this old woman who was like screaming at me about her medication, when it was just like, you just have to be like, yeah, like it's not coming on time. The end. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it sucks in that situation, but like you also just have to like get through people's head. Like, I understand that you want this thing. You cannot have this thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Some
really
people cannot
drives
take
a
a
lot
no
of
or
people
not
up the
take a
wall.
like.
Yeah.
It's not even a no. It's like a this is impossible. I know this is unfair, but there's nothing we can do. Some people cannot accept that answer in like a situation.
Yeah. No, for real. And that can really just be the end. And like, I'm pretty optimistic about human nature from my earthquake experience, in that like the majority of people like kept their heads down, got to work, and helped me survive, saved my life, right? So I think that humans do figure it out a lot of times in crisis situations, which is really nice, but not everyone, and a lot of those
And the ones who don't are maybe the loudest at times.
Yeah, no, for sure, that as well, and they take center stage in Chainsaw Man, so I know that arc is very interesting, and it's what made me like
Himeno.
I want to call her Komigiko, which is flower. Yeah, Himeno. She is like because she is probably the most keeping it together, like even compared to Aki, who's like he can't stop patrolling. He has to solve the
He
puzzle.
also can't
like
stop like. Yeah, but what if I just like sacrifice my lifespan? Like I could just do it. You want me to do it? I could do it. I have the sword. I could do it.
Do you
Like,
want me to kill myself? I'll kill myself.
yeah, I'll just do
Whatever
it.
you want.
Like, and you
Yeah.
very quickly like you can chart out. It's really well thought out for even though it's like a short like little arc or what have you. Like, what does everyone care about in this situation? Power cares about herself. That's obvious. And maybe a little bit about getting credit or not getting blamed for whatever.
Yeah.
Kobani is like freaking out, is scared, and is also, you could say, cares about herself. But dude whose name I can't remember cares about Himeno because he has a crush on her, which is like pretty clear. Himeno cares about Aki. Aki cares about the mission. He's like, let me just get out of here. And then Denji cares about getting credit because he wants the kiss. It's just like, it's a fun watching all those different conflicting like desires, even though they all want the same thing, which is to get out of this hotel. They all, their priorities are so out of whack that it's just a very fun, like throwing them all in the crate and shaking it up and seeing what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. It's also does something really well, which I feel like is definitely a emergent theme of the series, of like the childlike mindset versus adult mindset thing that seems to be explored, of like, I think probably in real life I would say at least, and maybe I'm biased by the fact that I have a very childlike mindset, but I think that retaining some level of youthful optimism or sense of play or flexibility does wonders for your sanity, I think, as an adult in the world. But you do also have to mature in a lot of ways to,
Well, apparently it makes you really
get things
effective
done.
at stopping an unstoppable situation, because Denji, it's because he's too stupid to be scared, and he's too,
Yeah.
like, self-destructive to care about himself getting hurt, right? So he's just willing to, like,
Yeah.
his solution is a solution that no sane person would, like, go through, but it works
Right.
because it's so outlandish, and it's so outlandish because that's so him. And this is, like,
Yeah.
a great early version of that.
Like, I think I just really related my earthquake experience to this, because I think, like, I felt like the same way of, like, I wasn't necessarily, like, stupid. I was just, like, maintaining the, like, oh, I can just enjoy the small things while I'm, like,
Right.
trapped in this situation. You know what I mean? I can't use my phone because I'm not going to get any more battery. But like, oh, finally I can, like, read a book. You know what I mean? Or like, wow, hunger is the best spice. And I'm, like, eating, like, yakisoba out of my, like, rice cooker that we have to, like, I haven't bathed in 6 days, but, like, wow, like,
That's a
I
new
wasn't able to
experience.
shave.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I being trans, like, I'm obviously very, like, sensitive about, like, facial hair, and I looked in the mirror, I was like, wow, like, the electrolysis has really gone along, like, if I
That's
did this,
good.
a few years back, I would have, like, grown a lot thicker hair. Like,
Mm.
just really, I think, like, delusional stuff, but it allowed me to, I feel like, keep my cool in a lot of situations because of that. And I don't know, I related to Denji being like, oh, sweet, like, I could take a nap. Like, I was really tired, you know what I mean? Like, and yeah, like, the appreciation of, like, this series is not, like, it's not like the full SpongeBob route of, like, oh, being a child is, like, the better way to be, and, like, adults have lost
Right.
all the things that make them good or whatever. Like, it absolutely frames how horrifying Denji and Power's actions are, in day-to-day life. But I don't know, I like the dialogue between those two, like, the adult world of Aki and the child world of Denji.
Mm-hmm. And Aki gets a little bit more childlike, and Denji gets a little bit more professional.
Yes.
And you have a show.
Yeah. No, good stuff.
Anything else
I
you
feel
want
like
to talk
I've
about
really
from
been going off.
season 1?
Yeah.
Any other, like, final thoughts? We haven't talked about, I don't know, Katana Man, or the action in general, or Himeno's
Basically,
death, you know?
Okay, I mean, like, the pictures look good. I think that when
I like
you
when the
make a
pictures
series
move
called
and stuff.
Chainsaw Man, I like when they move and flash. And if you're gonna make a series called Chainsaw Man, something that's gonna be really hard is, like, okay, we got this guy Chainsaw Man. Like, where are we gonna take him? Like, what are we gonna do with this guy? And it's like, you gotta just, like, what if he fought Katana Man? It's like, oh yeah, good idea. Chainsaw Man fights Katana Man. That's a good show.
Pretty much my exact reaction. I'm like, there's a Katana Man now? That's sick.
Right.
Like, as soon as he shows up, because his design's really strong.
And it's also the old versus new, child versus adult thing. Like, he immediately, like, shows up in the set, and he's, like, the most jaded. He's like, you think this ramen tastes good? It tastes horrible. Like, just back in my day,
The
like, kind of
Yakuza
whatever.
used to mean something. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
You got,
no,
like, the
he's the
spoiled
most
kid
eye-rolly
versus,
guy.
like, the not spoiled kid. Like, there's a whole, yeah, their weird little connection with the grandfather who got himself killed by the zombie devil is interesting.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's good arc, good writing, good framing. I feel like I've ranted a lot. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to address in season 1. I feel like I got my major ones.
Not really. I mean, I would say that, like, my favorite parts of Chainsaw Man are yet to come, which is good for you.
Mm-hmm. Yay.
It's hard to remember at this point because I've been reading Chainsaw Man for so long, like well before the anime was even announced. I was reading the manga and loving it. Like, I got involved in it before I'll say part 1 of Chainsaw Man ended.
Wow.
Long time. It's hard to remember like my initial experience with this story, but I remember the Powers flashback was like one of the first moments where I'm like, oh, this Tatsuki Fujimoto guy can really like pull on the heartstrings a little bit. And then the Himeno stuff I think is great. All the imagery, like this guy really knows how to take a concept and turn it into something that you wouldn't think of on your own, but then once you see it, you're like, that's perfect. Like the Ghost Devil is so creepy, where it's like got like the Sayako, like the ring or Ringu, like hair.
Oh yeah, the Sadako, like
and like face, but then it's like
eyes. Yeah,
what's behind it is like it's got this weird giant bug body, and it's just grasping hands that are at one point like something out of Scooby-Doo, but at the other they're also horrifying. The Cursed Devil is like, what is that even gonna mean? His art direction and his just the concept of like making base fears, like making fear the power scaling for the series, I think is really fun. It gets a little weird. Like, why is it's funny to think of the different things people are scared of. Like, people are scared of blood. That's a funny concept. So the blood like powers the blood devil, or tomatoes, or typhoons. Like eternity. Like that trend I continue to love with Chainsaw Man, where it's like, what are we fighting this week? It's like, oh, the concept of eternity. Okay, that makes sense. And that trend continues. I'm holding back because I don't want to say more, but there's like so many weird concepts, and initially reading it, it's like, what's the Gun Devil gonna look like? Let me tell you, Mallory, looks cool.
Good payoff.
Good payoff.
Hell
It'll be a while.
I love it.
Good payoff.
Yeah. I think that it's really good that the you can imagine your own Devil OC would be whatever you're afraid of. So mine would be the Oscar the Grouch Devil when he creates the world that Elmo's blanket falls into in the movie, and he goes into Trash World, and then Elmo has to go into Trash World, and he's like, what is this place? And everyone's like, yeah! And so then that would be like what my devil would look like that I would have to fight.
I see.
What would yours be?
I have no idea.
You'd have no fear.
The YouTube Studio Devil. It's just all ranked. It's just made of 10s, ranked 10 of 10.
Just like a well edited, highly polished, like 3-hour video essay, like collecting dust in a corner devil.
There you go.
Like,
AI Slop honestly kind of gets close to some of these.
Oh my god.
Horrific ideas.
Then
and
they're
imagery,
gonna bring in
loves
like
a good mashed up weird thing.
Oh. They're gonna have like this skibbity Poppy Playtime devil that's gonna come for me. I would have to fight like Italian. Have you heard of Italian brain rot? We can't get sidetracked, but
I have. Yes, I'm aware.
Okay, all my kids every day. I come in and work. I clock in. These kids are going scafudu, gibbity bobbity, chimpanzee bananini, and they're like, it's like the jugeme, you know, from a kind of a Nashi where she has to memorize the long, which by the way, I tried to remember that, and I'm not going to do it right now because I'm going to get too nervous and we'll get too distracted.
You gotta try it now. I'm not going to say anything else. It's going to be a solo podcast if you don't do it. I'll wait. You can pull it up.
The second part's really hard.
Just go as long as you can. Just try and get, some of it.
No. It's gone. I didn't practice it for like weeks. I practiced it like for the 2 weeks after we read Akane Banashi and then like dropped
it. That's not useful because we already recorded.
All right, moving on. I'll make a podcast promise. I'll recite.
I'm gonna keep referencing it. You're not allowed to cut that out of the podcast. I'll reference it the rest of the episode.
Pompoku P no Pompoku na no Chokyume no Chosuke. That's the end of it.
That's pretty good. I'll allow it.
Jugame Nanjara. I don't remember. Urikire, something kire. Oh god, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone. We got to talk about the movie. We got to talk about Reze. Okay.
So I was a little all over the place with my description there, but yeah, Tetsuki Fujimoto remains like incredibly creative, and that's something I get something I'm still getting reading Chainsaw Man every week. But have been feeling for the last 5 years of experiencing this author, and that was my initial impression of the series, and I'm glad that it's continued. And it's weird having shown you this as the second Fujimoto thing after Goodbye Eri, because the order's wrong. At some point, he will be showing up again in our podcast, almost certainly, whether we do a Fire Punch episode or a Look Back episode or what have you, or more Chainsaw Man. But yeah, he's just generational talent. That's all I want to say. Let's talk about Reze.
Super cool.
Cool movie.
Speaking of generational talent, I feel like I think that the movie is good. I think that it's very well animated.
Podcast
I think that
over.
The fight scenes are crazy. I think that if I had a nickel for every time anime that I watched referenced Sharknado in a novel and unique and cool way, I think that's good. I'd have 2 nickels. I think that that's really cool, and all the stuff's nice. I think that Reze is really good as part of like Denji's character arc. Like he clearly grows and learns from the experiences and is continuing to like develop in that direction.
Why are you talking like you're on trial here? I haven't even started my deposition.
I also think that as I'm admitting to being at the place of the crime and then trying to hedge my bets before I say that. I think that as someone who is consuming the series for the first time, like as an anime only person rather than like already knowing the story, I think this much emphasis being put on this arc, like really feels weird, and it made me had a lot more negative thoughts about Chainsaw Man, just in that there's a lot of swimming naked in the pool, and that kind of feels like the main point. Like I feel like there's like that, and then there's two halves to this movie, and it's like wish fulfillment fantasy, like blue hair diva shows up in your life and makes everything better, and then like big huge fight, and taken on its own, I feel like the commentary just doesn't hit in the same way. It's still a mark better than a lot of anime bullshit that we sit through, but I really just had the sensation watching it. I think especially was reinforced by the fact that I was like lining up and just the teens were abound. There were a lot of teens here. I was surrounded by teens.
Are you becoming afraid of the youth over time?
No, I just was like, I'm becoming like the, like, what are they doing to the youth? Because I was like, I don't know if I like this as being like what the teens are watching. Like, I can't say, like, I was watching like Transformers and like Megan Fox, so I'm not like cynical to the point of like, oh, their impressionable brains are gonna get, but I think that it's just like, it was more boring story wise. And then the other thing that I don't know if this is in the manga adaptation because I haven't read it, but like while they're playing just pacing wise, it's like while they're playing in the pool and having their fun time, there's
Reze
like this
and Denji
imagery of
on their school date.
Yeah, Reze and Denji. They're like swimming around all naked and stuff. And then they have like this like spider catching like a moth in its like web imagery that they like flash to like 3 different times. Very beautiful, very well done. Also was like, oh, okay, so she's a villain. Like it was just really unsubtly like, oh, okay, so because you're kind of like, you expect every person in the series to take advantage of Denji, like that's just the default. But with her, like, I feel like there's this like way out, and like even after she's like proposing like, what if we run away or whatever, and I think that even that comes after she has like the turn and reveals that she's like a Russian spy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I don't know. I feel like I would have maybe enjoyed or like felt more for the arc if I was like, oh, this is a way out for Denji, and then the other shoe dropped.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, then we have the fight, and then we have the like, I was lying about everything. No, we weren't. I think it would have hit a little harder. It just, something about the construction of it and like the way I was like consuming information, I was just kind of like,
So her
and then,
turn
like,
was
yeah.
too obvious. Is that kind of like would that be the summary of pacing
Yeah,
problems?
too
with the series?
obvious. Too obvious, and then even after the turn happens, they're still like establishing like the potential of Denji running away from her with her. Like it's not really, you know. I think the like, especially because Makima doesn't care. I think that the like his conflicts and like the only time we're really in mystery about it is like in the early coffee shop dates, I guess, of like trying to figure out her intentions, and it's like he. At that time, like, the main thing is him just being like, how do I stay loyal to Makima with this sexy girl in front of me? And it's like, there's less of, like, I think it's not until they get to the high school that we start getting the idea of, like, what if they ran away together and, like, he escaped from this, like, obviously, like, corrupt situation he's in, you know? Because that would have got me to be, like, hopeful and, like I would have known like, okay, this series goes on a lot longer, so it's not going to happen. But I would have been like, oh, that would be such a like bittersweet
cool turn to
opportunity
take
for him to
this,
escape.
yeah.
And I think it's just the way that stuff was telegraphed and the order of events that maybe just kind of be like,
well,
really
so
dragging this.
I have many thoughts. My first thought is, I don't know if this arc should be a movie either. I haven't seen the movie, but it is pretty brief in the manga. I did find it very impactful in the manga. This was like my first favorite Chainsaw Man arc, right? Reading through it and being like, there was an interview with Fujimoto like a couple weeks ago where he talked about how Rize's presence kind of like haunts the rest of the series in the sense that like there's always that question of like, what if they had run away? But I'll get more to that in a minute. There's idea number 2 to me is that, yes, Reze is a manic pixie dream girl or what have you. But then she's not. She is just another manipulator of Denji. But then she is again. But by that point, I think that she's like, because she's bitten off his tongue and tried to murder him or whatever, like, I think that like the manic pixiness has like faded away. And by the time you get to them on the beach together, having their second swim, which I think is a fun, like, callback, right, where he learns to swim from her and then beats her by drowning her, and then saves her. I think by that point, it's still ambiguous whether she's manipulating him or not, but there is that hope there of like, all the cards are on the table now, and they still could run away together if they wanted to, and still might.
Yeah, totally.
And I think by the time you get to her in the alleyway, deciding not to get on that train and deciding to actually go for it with Denji and go meet him, I think you're supposed to have accepted that this isn't for Russia. This isn't for like government reasons or what have you. She intends to, like, she has grown feelings for this person, and there is a possibility of the two of them being like a Bonnie and Clyde for each other and taking on the world together as star-crossed lovers or what have you. And then a spear goes through her fucking heart, and it's like, all right, well, that was nice while it lasted, right? And I think that she gets taken out so brutally and so coldly and efficiently, and it gives you a little bit more insight into Angel in that moment, and in terms of like how under control the rest of the fiends maybe are under Makima. The movie, what I imagine, starts pretty early on, introduces like Beam as Denji's new bodyguard, and it's just like, here's this even crazier fiend that we have under a leash somehow, and he knows information that you can't have, and he's just kind of like, has he been tortured, or is he, what's up with him, you know?
Right.
Same with Angel, same with, like, there's, as the onions continue, as the layers continue to get peeled back of the Makima onion, and you're like learning a little bit more about how how she operates. The Reze execution, I think, is like a very brutal, like, clearing of the board. And I think it really affected a lot of people. It's one of my favorite twists in the manga. If, in general, things were really telegraphed by the fact that they made this a movie, or by the added scenes like the spider and the moth, I could see it not working as well. For me, I thought it worked really well in the manga.
I think like post-fight, I get interested in the story again. Like them on the beach, and like the real love, and then the Makima murdering her thing, and like the reframing of the city country mouse thing. Of like, the thing that I like about the country mouse is digging them out of ditches with my dog. It's like, Jesus Christ.
It's tough.
Like, yeah, I think that like all of that worked really well, and there was stuff in the movie that worked well throughout. Like you cannot say no to the scene of like, all right, what's 1 + 1? Yeah, me, it's 2, it's 2. Like, just.
It's good.
It's really well animated.
It's a good bit. It's a good bit in the manga. You told me it's a good bit in the movie. Yeah. I'm happy to hear it.
Yeah. The only laughs I heard in the theater were at the part where she's teaching him like kanji in the cafe, and she like holds up the kintama for like testicles or whatever.
It's the only
that's
word
the only time I heard chuckles.
The only word I memorized.
Yeah. Which like, I feel like
her calling him a genius when he knows 2 + 2 or 1 + 1 is just like, it's a good moment.
Very, very cute. Yeah, I think that no, that's good. Yeah, not to like overly hate on it. And yeah, the fight scene's beautiful. Could absolutely rewatch it. I think just afterwards I was kind of thinking like, what was the point of her character? Like, she, in some ways I felt like, oh, she's just kind of repeating like the things that were unique about her were like the opportunity to escape, essentially.
It's the one that got away, but the one didn't get away. It was murdered in a back alley, and you're just not told.
Yeah,
like
exactly. Like minutes away from like reconnecting with you or whatever. And it's like, I think without that element, like she's just kind of another. She feels like another Himeno, or another Makima. Like, there's not enough like unique about her. It's just like, oh, Denji met another sexy girl and then she died or whatever. Like that's what it feels like. But I can see like within the context, and like do you think it would have been more impactful to you if it was a Himeno situation adaptation wise, where like Himeno's like peppered in for an episode and a half or so, and then kind of gets her big moment and then dies? Like, if this was another season of the anime, and you kind of have you have Reze like peppered in with the cafe along with the Makima date, and then because it's just regular episodes of the anime, you're not necessarily thinking that you don't know that there's going to be like an end point, and that end point's going to be so soon, right? But the fact that they made it like the Reze movie, I think it makes it a little bit more clear that the Bomb Devil arc is going to end where it ends. It telegraphs that like something is happening to this character by the end. Like this, the fact that I think making it the title is also probably part of the mistake, because you're like, she's either most likely going to die, or something is going to happen by the end of this that like would make you want to name it. Because it's like,
that
if
feels
this
like
was
like pandering to the manga fan decision. I don't want to use the word pandering. People use that word stupidly, but it feels like,
I mean, but it's,
you wouldn't call it the
I think
Reze
that's
movie.
A fair usage of it.
If someone just watched the first season of Chainsaw Man and they're looking at the movie and it's like, the Reze movie, who's Reze? You know, like, that's the thing. Like, that's a title that only makes sense if you have already read the manga, right? Like, and you already are predispositioned to love Reze, which many manga fans do.
And that's why I felt like the Spider and the Moth, because it's really well done. Like the way the shots are, it's just beautiful. Like, I love that image. And I feel like if you know the story already, you'll be like, whoa. Like,
I'm excited to see it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's new imagery.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of the Makima psychedelic slug from the opening.
Yeah. And it's kind of deep because there's also the whole thing about like the trap and the cheese and like all the bait and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, on rewatch, you're like, oh, you're kind of like, oh, maybe this is like Reze is falling into the trap of like Makima is gonna like be the one trapping her, you know what I mean? And Denji is the bait. Like that's kind of the feeling. So it's like it's not like a not considered decision, you know what I mean? Like it is.
There's a lot of little details. Fujimoto, I think, does really good with like not a lot of real estate. Like the entirety of Chainsaw Man Part 1 is only like 90 chapters, and a whole lot is yet to happen, and a whole lot happens in that 90 chapters. And I would say that's something that he's kind of like lost a step with when it comes to like later Chainsaw Man, where it just feels like the pace of those first 90 chapters is like lightning speed, but also you still manage, even in brief moments with these characters, to like get attached to them. Like Himeno's out of here by the middle of the season, but left a lasting impact, right? I think Reze does that well, and I think there's a lot of different little details, little like twists of the knife in terms of their what could have been. Like the fact that she takes off her like spy disguise, like Marvel, I'm sneaking around baseball cap, like to go see Denji, right? Like she is on the train platform and she's already like trying to like keep a low profile, but instead she's like, no, I'm going to be me to go visit Denji. Yeah. The fact that he's waiting with a bouquet of flowers. He never says like, I decided to buy a bouquet of flowers because of our first meeting with the one flower that he ate or whatever. But it's just like, the manga just cuts to him sitting there on the couch with the bouquet of flowers, and you already know that she's been annihilated, and you're like, oh man. Like it just does that. It's good at twisting the knife. I think making Angel like the gun that Makima's firing to kill Reze, I think is also effective, because Angel's a cool character and you're getting to know him throughout this arc, and then that also tells you that Aki's being kept in the dark, and there's which is good.
No, it's super cool. I think that like the efficiency of storytelling is definitely admirable in this series. Like it's really impressive how much it gets across, and those cuts
maybe
are really,
more
really
impressive
well
if it's a 10-chapter mini arc as opposed to a 2-hour movie.
That's the thing. Like I fully think if this was like 3 or 4 episodes, like I probably would have loved it, and I would be,
and you mentioned to me like them palling around at the festival. The festival's like 2 pages, and then it's them on the cliffside, like with the fireworks and the reveal. Like I could see this being a little dragged out, having not seen it yet.
Yeah, it's not that long. They spend a really long time at the school. I think the festival, it's more than 2 pages, but it's also like, they do get to the point, but you're just kind of like, okay, like we get it. We're in this romance that we just know that the betrayal is coming. So it's like, let's just get to that part, I think that that unfortunately is how
Mallory,
it happens.
Are you a genius like Power?
I'm pretty smart. I do have, I think my IQ was like 100 billion. Last time I checked. So
I'm trying to remember how many Power rants that she's gone on already where you're at, of like, I'm the smartest person in the universe, or I'm a genius. With them putting on the like glasses to fight Kishibe, like there's so much of like, I thought you'd enjoy that.
The like thing of them, like it's a huge revelation for them where they say, hey, what if we thought about what we were doing? And it's like, it sounds like I'm making a joke or like flanderizing them, or like, everybody's like, no, that's literally what they say. They say, they're like, what if we like considered our actions rather than fighting? Minds? They're like, and Digi's like, oh, like what? Like that's crazy. They're like, yeah, we're gonna be genius. We're gonna have the big strategy. It's gonna be awesome. And then he's like, I feel smarter already. Like,
they also, so that was one thing where like the opening for season 1 came out, and I was like, oh, they know what to emphasize, because there's the entirety of that opening is leading up to like Denji hitting the bowling ball into like a devil. I think it's supposed to be like the leech devil that he fights in the bat fight. Yeah. But it's all like a metaphor for crushing Katana Man's balls later on, which is funny. Right. But there's it tells a little story of like them at the bowling alley, and when Power like says something to him, it flashes the like genius Power outfit with her with the glasses. and it's like as he makes the connection, and then he shoots the bowling ball down the street or what have you. But it's just so it's like they know what's amazing about this series and how all these little moments that need emphasis because they're so great.
Yeah, so good. Her in the glasses, man. It's really, really
It's
hits. IQ conversation. The like grabbing. I mean, I like her for the same reasons I like Evil Eye. Is like she's like grabbing the like sashimi. She's like watashi no ja. Like she's just like it's mine. Like it's really good. Good series. Last thing I've got to comment on, obviously, Gay Watch, Angel, amazing, beautiful. You know me, and you know that I get emotional about just ethereal, beautiful men.
Sure.
And the queer coding is on point. I mean, we'll see how much was intentional, obviously, but like just the like, he's like untouchable. He like destroyed his own village, so there's like an abandoned, like couldn't fit in his community type of vibe thing, and then like. Aki, like, it was when I had only watched the anime and I didn't know that Angel was going to be prominent in the movie. I was like, oh, like, I was going to comment on the handing him that handkerchief scene, even though that's like a very, like, minor
quiet
point
moment
in the show.
Quiet,
yeah,
as far as
I
quiet.
Just been like,
what this series is capable of being quiet as they fight
Yeah.
like a horde of zombies.
Totally. Yeah, no, it's like I was gonna comment on that, but then the escalation of that and the arc that they have in this movie, and the fact that like Aki is like willing to save him from being sucked into like the fire. Like, ooh, baby, I was looking up shipping art after that one. That was
Aki once again sacrificing more of his lifespan.
For nothing, but I mean for everything, because he got to save that beautiful, beautiful guy.
Mallory,
the Aki clock ticking.
You may be a little mixed on the bomb devil stuff, but is Chainsaw Man still the bomb.com, or is it bad? What do you think?
I gave Dandadan season 2 like the highest rank.
Sure.
And it's like I didn't know about
this is like the older brother of Dandadan,
I didn't know about Dandadan's cool older brother with all the, you know what I mean?
I do.
Is there enough that I don't like that could make me move it down?
What'd you give Goodbye Airy? I don't even remember. That was A, right?
Yeah,
Deluxe?
Deluxe. I should have thought of an A word. I should change that to amazing, huh? Make it easier.
You do you.
All right. Say it with me. I
don't know what you're gonna say. I'm not sure what you're gonna say. Oh, it is Sail. That's what you're gonna say.
Yeah, you should know when you say the dun, 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 you gotta know that by now.
That wasn't. Is that supposed to be Sail? Am I stupid?
It's okay. The song is it goes dun, 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 dun. That's the instrument. So, what's the last time you listened to?
See, when someone does the Sail, I think they go to the bum ba bum ba da ba. I think they do the build up. Yeah, they do the build up, not the after.
But this is like what happens before. Blame it on my ADD, baby.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So it's an S, just to simplify things.
Yeah, for super good. I like it. I think it's really well animated. I like that America's the villain finally. In one of these,
just you wait.
One of these shows. Yeah, and yeah, and I don't know where to put this, but I looked it up. Okay, so are you ready? I looked it up. I glanced at it. I'm gonna try and say it. All right, you ready? Because this podcast is just a hodgepodge pastiche, and maybe this can be every week. I'll just try again.
What are you trying to say? What's going on?
Okay, here we go. ジュゲムジュゲム五個のすり切れ 海砂利水魚の水魚松雲来松風来松くうねるところに住むところやぶらこうじのぶらこうじパイポパイポパイポのシューリンガンのグーリンダイのポンポコピーのポンポコナーの長久名の長介. Okay, so
See,
there
that was
you go.
really cool,
So
but no one knows what the hell
perfectly.
you're talking about. You didn't set it. You didn't like establish it at all.
It was established. Everyone was paying attention to the whole podcast, and they watched every
And
episode
also
of our
previous
podcast.
which we
And they
didn't
watched
even go
Akane
into it
Banashi,
then.
and they know
they had to have also read Akane Banashi. Like, he didn't explain any of it.
They
no
they
context.
understand. Watch the this is our like fun little teaser. Like watch
I'm
the
not
Akane
having fun.
Banashi episode, and like now because people are gonna be like drooling and so thirsty for
Yeah,
that
but Mallory,
context,
we don't
and the only
explain
way-
it in that episode either. Like, it's not watch the Akane Banashi podcast. It's go read Akane Banashi, which is a fine message that I agree with. But like, you gotta give a little bit of like, hey, so in Akane Banashi they do Rakugo, and also in Rakugo there's a famous story about a guy with parents that named their kid a really long name. I'm gonna try and do that now. You gotta do that part first. You gotta do some of the. You can't just leave people like moored on an island like with no context of any kind.
Do you know supercalifragilisticexpialidocious?
Yes, this is like 14
There you
times as
go.
long, right?
There you go. It's long Japanese supercalifragilistic.
There you go.
um,
Why don't we hear it
Now
one more
you
time?
know.
Just run it
now,
back.
now they have no reason to listen to this podcast anymore because they're not gonna. Because I was gonna be like, oh, fine, we'll explain it next episode. You know, I was gonna tantalize them.
You're not gonna remember to explain it next episode when we're watching or reading
Yeah,
or
you're-
playing what exactly?
Cool.
Sam, what am I gonna make you watch this week?
It's been an anime-heavy Halloween. I'll say that. We watched a
Yeah.
lot of animation, which has been fun.
Yes.
It's more what I expected this
Um,
podcast to be in like the first 20 episodes, but we really went like all
Right.
over the map, and then we're like, yeah, we're actually like weebs.
Yeah, we went very avant-garde, and then we went back to like funny
Bread
little
and
moving
butter.
pictures, bread and butter.
That
I
is
think
a bookshelf
I
of
think
manga behind me. You're right.
Yes. Same. I mean, it's Steven Universe, but yeah, cartoons. Well, so bringing it, we're done with these dumb Japanese cartoons. Because I was really offended when we America was the bad guy in this, and I feel like, Tatsuki Fujimoto. How about we go out to the shooting range, and then you'll understand the beauty of my hobby.
Yeah, let me just take
but
him like hunting. I think he'd love that.
Yeah, if he went hunting one time, he would understand why we need to have school shootings, I think. So the point that I'm saying is let's get back to the good old US of A with one very special Has-Been Hotel, which Season 2 is going to be premiering very soon. And we got to get through Season 1 if we're going to enjoy all the fruits to love of the most Tumblr, the most DeviantArt show to
Okay.
ever exist of all time.
I have a question for you, Mallory, and I'm coming to you in the
Yes.
spirit of friendship and truth. I don't know the
Mhm.
answer to this question.
Okay.
Is this the devil one or the clown one? I don't know.
Well, so Hell of a Bus is about a devil who is a clown, and Has-Been Hotel is about a devil who looks like a clown. So I don't know that I can really help you at all.
Is this
There's
is this where the jester cap person comes from, or is that something else?
That would be Homestuck, which features a jester in the first chapter, and then also has prominent characters that are like little impish demons that are
I
called
don't think
trolls,
I'm
but they have
thinking
like
of
devil
Homestuck.
horns. What do you?
She's like
What are you
a
asking?
white spear, and she's got like a
Yes.
jester cap. I think she's
A
yellow
white
and
sphere
blue.
jester. This is the Amazing Digital Circus,
That's the Amazing Digital Circus.
Where-
Okay.
where the protagonist is a clown and they're trapped in hell.
Okay. And that's
without
not the
maybe
devil
any
one
explicit.
that we're watching.
Yeah.
That's a hotel.
Okay, so I think So let's do a little like refresh on this.
Help me,
so
Mallory. I
the
don't
point
understand.
that you're making. The point that you're making and being deliberately obtuse about, because here's the thing. If we really pull back the curtain, is I said like 3 different series, and if you really didn't know what you were talking about, then you would like. So so you wanted me to get to Amazing Digital Circus. So the point is that Amazing Digital Circus and Hazbin Hotel have similarly like freako fanfics.
Mallory, you may be suggesting that I should have already started this because you told me ahead of time. But let me tell you, I haven't. I don't actually know the answer if this is the devil one or the clown one.
You watch Hell of a Boss, though, right? I thought you
I've
watched
seen Hell of a Boss.
Oh.
I don't know what that is.
Why did I... There's a YouTube... She was like, I'm, like... You know, I'm spending too much time and money making this. I'm not spending enough time and money making this series for Amazon. Let me make like another YouTube animated series.
And is that the Amazing Digital
set
Circus?
In the same world? No, that's called Hell of a Boss. And then there's Hazbin Hotel, which is on Amazon. Amazing Digital Circus is different. It's 3D. It's Pomni.
Is this Italian brain rot? Now I'm kidding, but I wasn't kidding before. I didn't know.
Whoa. That's crazy. Listen, okay, if my whole thing is emotionally damaged older women with only one eye, and that's why I got this Ragatha plush.
And Ragatha is from Hazbin Hotel.
No, she's from Digital Circus. You will not be meeting her, so enjoy this teaser of what's
Why'd
to come.
Bring it up then?
To torture you.
I'm so confused. I used to be hip, and then I wasn't hip, and then, you know, is Chainsaw Man like washed? Am I just talking about old stuff? I don't know. It's new to me. It's not. I've been there the whole time.
It's referencing like Reservoir Dogs, which is for grandpas. It's referencing The Big Lebowski, which is for septuagenarians. Okay.
Mallory, I'm old.
We're also gonna watch. I'm glad you didn't start because I completely forgot. There's a pilot for Hazbin Hotel. The series is really bad if you don't watch it, so I'm gonna send you that on YouTube.
The series is bad if you don't watch the pilot.
Yeah, it's also like not great. Anyway, it's good though. It's good and not good at the same time. It's just a very complicated series.
So I gave you one stop making sense tier, and now you're just like, you know, I just fire them off whatever.
Yeah, I've basically got free reign of the place. So we're gonna have a really fun, confusing week, and you're gonna understand everything when we come back next week on the Nobody Leaves podcast. Until then, have a great time, Sam. So don't get bad at me.
Thanks for watching.
You didn't do your homework.